Wiggles gills excitedly welcome knockout 3514. Chirps happily grubby the axolotl is here to claim a fish for you. Sub or gift, your choice. Swims in a happy circle.
Oh, hello, welcome to Hytale. We're doing some modding today, at least we're going to explore it and see what we can do with it. And hello, Knockout, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well today. Alrighty, so, to get started with this though, we need to create a new world. And we're going to make a creative world. We're going to call this the, I guess, modding realm. If I can spell words. Realm? Is that how you spell it? I hope so. So if we go into our settings here, there's actually a creative hub, which is pretty cool. And I think I want to have the NPCs on, and I think I want time pause so that I have to like actually manually start it. So we're gonna go ahead and just do that. Okay, let's hop right into it. This is gonna give us a little hub space, which is pretty cool. I've checked this out previously just so I can kind of get an idea of what this is. And I think this might be the most fancy. Yeah! I think this is going to be the most ideal way to do this. I plan on filling up my empty space down there because I'm going to be doing some coding and stuff here and there and fiddling with the editor and things. So there'll be some tweaks and changes as I go here, but so this is like the little creative space that it puts us in. We got some portals that are pre-set up to take us to different spaces so we can kind of experiment with it. From what I understand, I believe, does it actually tell me what it is? It doesn't actually tell me what they are. I believe one is just like a standard survival world or exploration world. And another one's a super flat. And I think I want to fiddle around in the super flat to begin with. To just kind of get an idea of what I'm doing here. It's a cosmos of creativity. Okay, so one of the first things that I need to do is go, actually I need to opt myself here, so give myself ultimate power. And then we're going to come here into our creative tools, and there's a thing called an asset editor. So we're going to go ahead and open that up. I don't know if that's going to show up on the screen for you guys, so I may need to grab a clip of that. And I'm going to try to do something here. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but we'll find out. So if I go for a display capture, not display capture, I want a application. Ah, thank you so much for 25 streak. That's awesome. Thank you for always being here. I appreciate having you around. Okay, I need a... It's not a game capture, but it's also not a display capture, for sure. Yeah. I'll try the game capture and see if it works. Hytale asset It's a editor. Editor. It's funny, all I've done is like games, so it's hard for me to remember which one it is. Aha, there it is. Okay, so we can get that on the screen. There it is. Now, I don't know why it's like cutting off part of the top there, but I think that's okay. All right. So what I'm going to try to do with this is I want to see if I can have like this here. Might need to tweak a few little things here, but if I can have it here, but then when I like switch to it, I want to know if I can have it like be the bigger one. So I probably need to make a second one. Might take me a second here to do this. So if I hit paste, might call this one. Just a little bit of setup here. I want to edit this one. Rename it, please. Rename. I'm going to say, I guess, the full one. Because what I want this one to do is be here, the size of the game of Hytale, and then I want to actually grab. It's going to be a little fiddling here. A little bit of fiddling. I need to also copy this one. It's not, I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I do want a reference, right? Because then I can take this one and I can shrink it down and put it over here for now. Like when I'm in the specifically in here, I can swap these back and forth. I do need to put this above that real quick, as well as the rest of my stuff here. Give me a second. It's a little bit of fiddly. Okay. That should do it. And I do need to put this one up here as well. I do have lots of fiddle. Okay. So we can do that. And that. Okay, I believe I got it set up so that I can do this how I would like to. So for now, we actually are going to be in the editor. And I might have to try to find some sort of hotkey to swap between these easier, but we'll just kind of go with this for now since we're in the editor. So right now what we've got, this right here is all of the Hytale stuff. Everything from items, models for mobs, music, all of the logic, everything that makes the game the game. So what we're going to actually do here is we're going to create, I think it was, do I need to go server? Here, there we go. So we're going to add a new pack. And we're going to call this one Mantis, or Praying Mantis Buddy. Actually, no, we're gonna do a test first. So I want to do a test one. We're not going to worry about anything else here for now. Just going to go ahead and just save that. So just pack group. Okay, I'll just put Steam. Let me do that. Okay, so now we have a fresh one that we can edit and modify. So what I want to go do from here is I want to see if I can get a mob into the game and fiddle with it to try to replicate the concepts I want to do with the Praying Mantis when I actually make it. Because the intention of my mod is to make a little Praying Mantis that follows you around and helps you hunt like small creatures. At least that's the very basic that I want to do. So if I go back to the Hytale here, and can I go to entities? Can I just add a new one? I think I just need to add a new one. I've watched a little bit of videos and stuff. I don't fully know how to go about all this, but let's see. There we go. Asset type. Can I do an entity? We're going to explore this here. Entity UI component. I actually don't know how to go about making one. So if I don't know how to make one, can I open one? So we do want to see if we can get a... It would be an NPC, wouldn't it? That's probably what I'm looking for. And there's several different aspects here. There's an NPC group. We have a creature. Okay. Livestock, mammals, vermin. Maybe vermin would be good. We can start with just the... Or is it edible rat? Let's start with the rat. So you can kind of like look at the rat and see what it needs. As a potential option for figuring out how this all works. So open asset in a new tab. Yes, please feed the fishies, make them so happy. And get all the shinies for them. Did you notice the big pink axolotl there? We've got Grubby in there now. Okay, well, I kind of have a general idea. So it's like NPC group. So NPC group, creature. So actually, let's see if we go back to here. If we go to NPC group, create an NPC group. Okay, so let's do that real quick. What do I want this group to be called? I guess I need to, right. Would be, I'm gonna call it critters. So if we ever do more things later with this, we can utilize this one, I think. So if I hit create for that, what does that do? We're gonna do much fiddling. Okay, so we needed to make a folder actually. So we did that probably wrong. So we're gonna delete that real quick. So within here, NPC group, nothing here. So we're gonna add, so create a new group. I could do a folder, okay. Create a new folder. Call it critters. Create that. Okay. So I hit create, oh, I need to actually have something. Folder need, create new NPC group asset. The ID cannot be found, okay. We're just gonna put test in here for now to maybe experiment with how this works. Okay, and we'll take a look at this one. It is under like an additional thing here, so another folder. So perhaps we actually do want one more folder. So if I go create another group folder within this one. Okay, we're gonna create another folder real quick. We're gonna call this, I guess, buddies. Now, what do I want to do this? I'm trying to figure out how to like mimic the way they set everything up. So they have the main folder, which is creatures. So I guess I want creatures and then I'd have critters. Now I think about it. So let's just add creatures. Create a folder. Okay, we're going to close it out and we're going to take the critter one and put it in there. Yeah, I think that worked, right? Oh, no, did it not? No, it didn't. Okay, so we're going to just try deleting this then. And delete this. Because how it is creature and it's a folder within the folder. So let's do that. If I can figure out how to do that. So within here, I want to create another NPC group. Let's try that now. Okay. I just put critter, it's just going to put a thing in there, right? How did they get the additional folder in there then? Do I need to add one? Oh, there we go. Maybe I do this. Try it again. Critters. Create the folder. Can I put it in there? Okay, so it doesn't like it unless I do it this way. So we're going to remove this one. Oh, I can create it in folder, which is what it's supposed to do, right? Thank you for feeding the fishies, making them so happy. Do I need to go here? Okay, well I can't seem to get it to do exactly what I want here. All my folders are empty. Okay, so I do need to remove this. So how did they get this second layer then? Because within the NPCs, well, there's some stuff that's just kind of dropped in there. Interesting. But some have folders. Very interesting. Okay. This is going to be a lot of fiddly until I figure out what I'm doing. But eventually I'll figure it out. That I am sure of. Okay, so I think we're just going to get rid of this. We're just going to have them in this folder. So if I go to this one, we're just going to put tests for now, because I'm going to try to experiment specifically with a mob here. Okay, so for the rat, it has a role of rat, I guess. That's interesting. Open asset new test. There's no parent to this, which is also interesting. So how does this work? Oh, there's actually is a critters already. Ooh, I didn't realize that. Okay. So I probably don't want to call that critter then. Let's go back to this one. Make sure I'm in my pack. I want to rename this. Naming an asset will not change references to it in other JSON files. This action might break other assets. Okay, so if that's going to break stuff, I guess we just need to redo it again. So we don't want to do critters because that's already something that exists in the game. So I want to avoid any potential conflict there. So we'll just go back into here, in the group, create a new one. In the folder, we're going to create a folder, I guess. So that's where it's going to go. Praying Mantis is Praying Mantis. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're just going to go for test. What does that do? Okay, there we go. So we got our test guy. Now what do we do with this? I'm trying to figure out how... Do I need like an item then? Let's look for something here. Because if we go for our items and we look for a summon, an egg spawner. If we look at like the sheep spawner one, for example, what does this do? So it's got an icon of what it is. Okay. And then we have several things in here. We got rendering, crafting, general function, block, interaction, and state. So we may want to actually copy this thing and just use it as a base. But I kind of want to also use something different. Okay, there's an NPC spawner, spawn rat. Okay. Oh, I see. This is where the rats come from. Very interesting. What do I do then? Because we don't have a lot of spawners as far as what's in here. So I guess if I were to take this and I want to duplicate it, and then we can just choose where we want to put it. So I would need to actually make the folder space for this. So maybe I want to duplicate that. Okay, so before we get too carried away, we want to go back into here and check our items. What items do we have? We have no items right now. So it's like whatever's in the item group. So let's try... I should be able to just copy this one. Let's see. I know there was a way to do that. Let me see if I can find it. The asset cannot be edited because, yep, so if I do override the asset, it'll give me a new one. And then I can just, okay, so it is putting it in there for me. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So if I go back into my thing now, I should have this sheep spawn egg. So I've got at least a spawn egg to be able to spawn something. So we can spawn a sheep now. Now, if I were to go back to here, we're going to shrink the full editor. I didn't do what I wanted to. That one did. And then I forgot to actually name this one. Give me a second. Rename. Small, and do the same thing with this one. Okay, they both got renamed. Okay, cool. I think I want to get these organized. Okay, so now that we're here, we should actually... The cool thing about this is you don't actually have to reload much. We do it occasionally, but you don't have to do a ton. And now where did I find those? I don't remember how to get the spawn egg. Gotta figure out where that got put. Is it here? No. Was it here? I actually don't know where it's at. So let's look for spawn. There we go. So we're supposed to have an item here now because I've made one, right? Okay. It's not currently here, so there's something I must be missing. Oops. So we're gonna go back to the asset editor. Do I have to reopen it every time? Okay, there we go. We just do these, boop, boop, boop. I guess actually I get to tap these toggled off and on, right? So I keep these ones on. Those are my base ones. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I toggle those ones on and off. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the editor. Gotta figure out why we're not currently seeing that. I don't know if I just... It should be working from what I've seen in a video that I watched. We don't have music playing though. Yes. It is, but not settings. We have music all the way up, it's just not playing. So maybe I do actually need to do something with that. Okay, let's see. Crafting animation. So there is a spawn egg item. Oh, I think I needed to do something else. I'm trying to remember what that one guy did. I think he did something else within... Do I need to rename it perhaps? Let's try something. Item model, item texture. If I hit equip, oh, okay, there we go. I can equip item. There we go. So now I actually have this in my hand, but it doesn't seem... Okay, I can left click for it. Interesting. Attack so fast. Okay, let's grab ourselves a sheep remover. Let me just take this. Okay, so we know that that worked because we gave ourselves that specific item from the editor. So if I swap, if I do this again. If we want to like change what it does and everything, we'll have to kind of figure out how that all works. So for the general, let's just kind of read through to try to get an idea of what it does. So tag, this can be the entity, map entity, okay, equality is common. For rendering, that's going to be specifically the item itself. Crafting and general functionality. Does that do anything? It doesn't seem to. We have a block. Does it have an interaction? It does have an interaction. There's a primary interaction here. And then it goes spawn NPC. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna need. I'm gonna be able to spawn an NPC and want to mess with it. Okay. So we're looking for the entity ID of sheep. So what I want to do now is actually go back to the main thing. In fact, we have too many things open. I want to close a lot of these down. Okay. So what I want to do is look for our NPC. I'm going to look for creature, livestock. There should be a sheep here, right? So this is what it should be creating. So we're going to go ahead and just overwrite that. So it gives us a new one. And we're going to put that in there. So we have that access. So we can try to mess with it within specifically our pack here. So now if we go back to our pack, we should have an NPC of sheep. Yep. So I guess what I could try doing is actually mimicking this. So it's got a role. The role is sheep. Okay, so what does that mean? So there's NPC roles. Let's explore that one. It's gonna be a lot of just me going back and forth like this, trying to understand how this works. We got NPC role. We're gonna have a creature. We're gonna go for livestock. We'll look at the sheep. Ah, okay, so this is where we start getting into a lot more stuff here. Okay, so there's variants, there's a template. This is actually like the written code that you would have, which is interesting. It's not a visual one like I was expecting it to be. So all the NPC roles are written in like a Java code, it looks like. So I'm probably going to have to figure out how to do that if I want to make my own creature. So I'd have to learn how to do all this stuff. But if we were to just click an overwrite, we get ourselves a sheep. So now we have this sheep one within our area. So this thing is referencing that. Okay, so included roles sheep. Not sure why it's like double layered like that. That's interesting. Okay. So now we have a type as a variant, a reference template animal neutral. So this is kind of like all the general appearance. Ooh. I think I may be getting quite a bit over my head here with this. It keeps opening more and more things, and this is like distracting me. Having so many tabs open. Okay, so they said there's an appearance one as well. So that means there's likely a folder for appearances? Is that what I'm understanding? Or is that a reference to something else? Let's go ahead and shrink this all down so we get a better idea of what we've got in general. I imagine it would go under NPC, would it not? No. Okay. Block assets. That's interesting. Okay. So we're trying to figure out how this works with the sheep having the role. Because this has got to be like exactly what all the code is required to create the sheep. So this is like what makes it do it. So it's got the animation, the chance to turn friendly with tracked item. Oh, they just have a general chance to turn friendly. That's interesting. At the very least, we could tweak these settings to make the sheep different. But if I want to add my own personal logic, I'll have to figure out how all that works. So it is a memory. Okay, it's part of that thing. When you harvest it, you can get wool. You have to use shears to interact. And then it will go to the drop list when you harvest it. So like when you take out the sheep. Part of the producible items. Okay. Very interesting. Oh, there's like chance for them to follow and ignore items that they're supposed to follow. Okay. And like, oh, we could use this to figure out like what all the mobs like. So like sheep really like lettuce. So that's how you can kind of like lead lettuce or lead sheep around with lettuce. That'll be helpful when I'm back into the exploration world. Oh, this is kind of a daunting task now when I'm looking at it. Because there's like a lot of complexity to how you create a mob. So let me see if I can pull up. There are some Hytale docs for doing mods. And I want to pull that up over here. And I want to look at like creating a mob, see if there's any like guideline for it potentially. So I'm going to do a little bit of browsing here, see if I understand any of this stuff. Entities, components, and system. An entity is just a unique identifier. It contains no data, no logic. Think of entities as nouns that can be described using components. Okay. I don't know if that's quite what I'm looking for. Probably want to look at the... Alright, so there is an NPC documentation. So maybe browsing this one could potentially work for me. And I should probably also put this as like a visual thing that you guys can see. So let me go ahead and just do that. We're going to grab browser source. We're going to say Hytale docs. Okay. And then I want to grab this. I don't know if that's going to work though, because it's going to be looking specifically for that source if I hit this. It's got a thing over top of it. Okay, so maybe that's not going to work like I wanted it to. Oh! Hello, Exad! Welcome to the stream. Thanks for contributing. Oh, by the way, that did remind me. Let me do that real quick. I need to drop it to 10 points. 1 second. I forgot to do so. Whoop, whoop. There we
Welcome,
go.
Exod 1414.
Alrighty, I'm back in. You're out of points now. Well, welcome to the stream. Okay, I don't think that is the ideal way to handle this one, so we're gonna go ahead and remove that. I feel like I don't have a good way to do this then. Okay, so what I think I could do instead is go to this one here, and we're just going to get like a note thing in here so we can kind of figure out what exactly we want with this. So let me do that. I do have that open. Cool. Okay. How was your all's day? Wow, I had so much trouble right now. My day was pretty good. I just had work, so it's not too bad. I do need to figure out how I do notes. Is there any notes specifically in here or any of these other ones? I don't think there is. But typically I think it is like a hashtag. So I think what we'll do for now, we'll just do a hashtag in here. Not in school anymore? Nice! Is it just taking a break or are you like complete? Okay. So now I'm going to be using this document to kind of reference what I'm trying to do. Okay. So so help follow. Okay, so what I want to just kind of describe. So the Praying Mantis is going to be, okay, so what is it and what does it do? We'll do another hashtag, which I believe should be notes. If not, we can pull it out later. So it's going to be follow player, and then I want it to attack small mobs, which I believe are known as critters, potentially. Or, I don't know, I won't put that specifically because there might be other ones that are in different categories. What else could I do? It's like, I want to kind of like describe what the whole thing is supposed to be. Let's see. I also want it to ride on player shoulder. So right now we're kind of just getting the description of what we want the Praying Mantis to do. Let's see. We also want a sleep animation for it. We want a attack. It's going to be a melee attack, so I guess we can specify that. Melee attack, okay. What else do we need? We're obviously going to need a model for it, so I'll just put that in here as well. Model. And I do also want it later to equip gear. That could be a stretch one, but we'll put it there anyways because I know it's like something I want to accomplish for this. And then I guess the model would also have gear as well included. So it's probably also going to need a UI for gear, so we can like equip stuff to it. And is that all I need to do? And I guess when it attacks small mobs and follows the player, it probably needs a limited. Actually, when it attacks mobs, it should have. What would I call this? A follow distance? To stay with player. We might also want a command to like. Command to call. In fact, what we could do is include that in the shoulder writing actually. A command to recall. So if you ever need to like pull it away in time, keep it safe or something. I think that kind of roughly follows what I want it to do. But I also need a spawn area. Spawn areas and variants. So that kind of gives us our general description of what I'm after for this. Okay. So now I kind of know more or less what I want it to do. Gotta decide its states. I guess I would like to have varying states for this thing, so we're gonna put an idle state. I guess I'll have to figure out how to tame it too. So an idle state. Let's go states. If I'm spelling that correctly. States. I'm gonna have idle. Shoulder. We want sleeping. I probably need a command for it to stay as well. Actually, might be worth doing. So follow player, follow distance your player, and also a stay command. This might be different. Maybe I need to make commands a different list. Commands. Shoulder, attack, follow, stay, perhaps. That's a good idea. And then we have an eating one too as well. I guess also a combat state. Combat will be an alert as well. Okay, so it's good to know. Okay, so then you like break it up into different things and like what it would do. What am I working on? So I want to make a mod for Hytale where you can have a little pet praying mantis that will follow you around and will attack like small critters for you, like small creatures. So like maybe fish, the squirrels, like small birds, things like that. Yeah. And I want them to have like custom gear as well. It's like so the gear you get on the player you can also equip to your mantis, like the same like style of gear. So why a praying mantis? I don't know. That's just what seemed kind of cool because there's currently no bugs in Hytale, so it's something that doesn't already exist. And then the praying mantis just felt like going, oh, Octorock, thank you for the raid. How you doing? Welcome to the stream.
Chirps excitedly Octorock, huh? Don't worry, I'll keep you safe. I'd love a fish, but let's keep it family friendly, okay? Winks, how about we play a game instead?
Okay, now I can read the thing until Grubby's done yapping. Oh,
Makes a soft, chirping sound. Welcome, Octorock. I'm Grubby the axolotl. Waves little pawsoo. Do I want a fish? Okay. Nods enthusiastically. Sub or gift. So here's some rev
from my day 2,751 in a row. Hope your mod making is going well. You've done 2,751 raids in a row. That's awesome. The mod is going well. I'm still trying to figure it all out. I'm brand new to it. I have no idea what's going on. Hytale well version 5 of my color glass pane mod. Was that just some fun panels? I actually did like a mod. Okay, I am a disabled streamer that streams every day for my Hytale. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that's helping you out. So you mentioned a mod. So you're doing like a mod for Hytale or for Minecraft? I would assume Hytale, since we're talking about Hytale. Oh, you did say okay. Yeah, your mod for Hytale. Okay. So the day I add long cat panels. Okay. That's Hytale. It's all out already. Oh, already out. Oh, nice. That's cool. I have to check it out. I've been working V5. Okay, version 5 of the mod. Okay, there you go. I'm following. I'm following. If you want, you could drop into my Discord. Let me Discord, and you can welcome to share it there if you'd like. Now it's gonna yap at me for being here.
Welcome Steam's
Okay, it
creative
doesn't.
journal.
This is not valid. Okay, I might have to figure out how to do a different note thing, but this is okay to put it here for now. Then you guys can see what I'm working on. Okay, so I'm currently kind of just reviewing the NPC documentation, so I can kind of try to get an idea of what I want to do for these things. And as I'm breaking them down, and I can come back and work on them after. Sorry, full of Discord, but if look on Curseforge, it's called Color Frame Glass Panels. Okay, we'll do. I'll take a look. I'll have to mark that down somewhere to remember to take a look at that. So is that what you were working on before you ended your stream? Preparing items. Okay. So I'm gonna have the different states, and I'm gotta break down what each state is. Okay. These states transition are pretty generic and commonly used, but at this stage I don't see the need for any others. Okay. So kind of like understanding what we want our mob to do in general is kind of what the states are, like their general behavior and what you'll see as a player. There are a few pre-existing components that will make our lives significantly easier. We need to chase and attack other targets. Okay. So that's good. Their example is kind of is mentioning that. But how do I go about adding all this is what that's where I'm not sure what to do exactly. As far as like how it looks visually. In fact, let me scroll down and see if there is getting started with templates. Okay, here's the template. Okay. It kind of gives us the general idea of how you structure them. So you have the type of what they are. Does it actually break down what all of these things mean? Okay. So if we start kind of, I guess, piecing this together here, we're going to have... right, I've been redoing the panels by making the build hammer. Okay, that's cool. And make block sets for color sets, and now I have my 20 colors. I add 400 as people keep asking for more colors, and also the roto. So when placed on the floor, it'd be flat on the floor. Okay, and when placed on the wall, be flat on the floor. Okay. Two streams ago, did all that, and on the day's stream, I add some fun art panels. Okay, that's cool. Like some fun art panel, like for the specifically the glass. So if like a stained glass kind of concept, or just like art that's separate from it. Okay. So if I do type, I'm not exactly sure what the type's going to be for this mob. I wonder if abstract would be the right, I guess a companion maybe, or follower? Oh yeah, right, I want to call it a buddy. I don't know if this is the right naming convention for this or not. I made 7 cat panels and also fun panels based on a lizard meme. Oh, okay, yeah. When you click on it, it plays the sound lizard. Oh, you click on the like glass. That sounds kind of funny. Okay. We have the parameters here. And then it's like that. And then we have curly brackets once again. And then within that space, I'm gonna just tab it out. Maybe I can space it out too, I guess. And we're gonna have appearance. And I have to be very careful about spelling, because spelling, if you do the wrong thing when you're trying to spell encoding, it will just break everything. Okay, so another set of curly brackets. Okay. So we got the appearance, and this is going to be the value of what's actually what it will look like. So I'll have to figure out what this actually ends up being at some point here. And we're gonna say Praying Mantis here for now. And I do need to do underscores if I have multiple words. Okay, and then I need the comma. Okay, and then we'll have a description. Description. This may take me quite a while to ever actually have anything visual besides all the typing I'm doing currently. I do also want to do this real quick so that it just is more readable. Okay. And then we're gonna go, this is model to be used. Right, the game does not have support for translucent glass, so right now it's all solid color, but I've been told that they're working on adding it in future updates, but there's some time. But when add support for translucent colors, I'll update your mod. Okay, I should update your mod then and add a set of panels with, okay, the different tints. That's a really cool idea. Model to be used. Okay. And then we're going to go down to here, and then it wants to do a comma there. And then we're going to come out to, I guess I need to space this out, because this is supposed to be, it should be the parameter one, if I'm understanding this correctly. Based on where the last one was. Then in here, it wants drop list. Which I don't know if I want a drop list specifically for this when you kill it, but I guess that's what I assume the drop list will be, but I will have to learn this as we go. Okay. And there'll be another set of curly brackets. I gotta make sure I'm getting this done correct. I guess when I get to the bottom, I can make sure I have everything. So the drop list. Then we have the value for this one. You're back. Oh, your sister FaceTimed you. Oh, okay. You guys have a good chat. Value. So we're going to start with an empty for now. Okay. And then for some drop that. Yep. Okay, that's what I figured it is. Based on the description, it does say what it is. Yeah, got to see the nephew get ready for bedtime. Oh. I don't know. I can't imagine having a sister. I don't have one. Description. So far, I know the only glass color panel mod for the game. I plan when the next work on. We do pride flags, okay, and pixel art based on the Hytale dev team, okay. I'll add ones for Katara and the head of the creative and Buddha Cat. Okay, that's really cool. So you're gonna get like a whole bunch of like really decorative, some almost like they're like glass banners. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's a brother and a sister? What? No way. Who would have thought? Okay, so the description for this is going to be the drop item. So drop items. Okay. I'm going to go here. Oh. What happened? Did it actually go
Squeaks
where it's supposed to?
excitedly hi Octorok. I'm Grubby,
There we go,
the
sweet.
cutest
That's
axolotl on
where
Twitch.
more or less that should go. Not
Wiggly
completely,
toes,
but
loves pets, and always hungry.
alerts.
Giggles.
There we go. Maybe I'm still trying to fiddle that correctly. That's a fun little emote you got going there. Is that your emote? Okay. So then we have this one, and this one. Nope, not that. This. Okay. So I've done drop list. Okay. I think I also want this to go out here, but I'd actually pull this back. No, don't get rid of that. I need that. Oh, not that either. Pressing all the wrong buttons. Backspace. There we go. So we'll keep these like right here for now, I guess. I wish it was easier to like visually see where I had things. That was late. One of the glass panels based on this emote. Oh, that's really cool. Is that a custom emote? Or is that one that's already like pre-made? Okay, so now we're going to do this. Space this out. And then I want to... I'll leave it as test. We can come back and rename it later, I think. And if we need to, we can always recreate it and just paste everything over. Okay. Max health. And then and this is gonna be good practice to try to get like the type, like the proper conventions into it. Not very close with your sister, are you, Exxon? Okay, do we want value? Get really used to like the proper frame of how this works. I don't think 100 is going to be what I want, but I'll put 50 just as a good starting point, and we can work with that later. And then we do description. I do not like long words. It's hard to remember if I spelled them correctly. Okay, description. There's a space after that. Is there a space after all of those? I haven't been doing a space with all of them, but I'll have to fiddle with this until it works. Okay. Parameters, appearance. Okay, yep. I think I'm doing that correctly. I certainly hope so. Okay, everything else is good. Type needs a space. Okay. So now we're into the description of what the max health is. So this is, I think I'm starting to somewhat get the concept. The value is like what goes in it, like the actual thing. And the description is describing what that thing is. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't want to make sure that the fishies aren't hungry. Check with the fishies. Okay. So now we need max health for the NPC. Okay. And then we go down, do a close bracket, and then parentheses. And we're on to the next one. And then it does like a name translation. I guess I could always rename the thing now, actually. Translation key. But let's go ahead and just rename this now. It might not work properly. Actually, what we could do real quick. We're going to copy everything we have, and we can Control X. We can delete this. Actually, no, before we do anything, we're going to go... We're going to say Grassland Mantis. Need that. Oh, I need to have underscore. Okay. So we can go to this thing now. We can go Control A and just paste all that in there. We can then get rid of this one because we don't need it. Okay. So as we kind of start to build this out, we have it where we want it and based on the name we need it to have. Okay, so translation key. And like hopefully I will start to kind of piece together what all this information means and what it is. And at the very least, I will have it in my head somewhere, so when I come across it when I'm trying to figure out how to build it, I will know what I'm looking for. But we'll see. Let's see. So currently this is saying what the file could be look different in the current version of the game. Okay. We'll keep playing with it and we'll see how this looks. And I like we can compare it to the sheep one because we have the sheep one over here. Okay, obviously I can't, can I apply changes? It says it's an invalid JSON, so it's not letting me save it. Okay, so I think what I'll do is grab this stuff. It's not going to let me have that there because I'm not doing the notation correctly. Let me just quickly make a folder here. I need a new, give me 1 second. I'm going to move that over. I can't get to my desktop. I have too many screens open. Okay, new text document real quick. I'm going to say Praying Mantis notes for pod. We can drop that in there. So I have that saved somewhere. Okay. I can go back and open up all the screens like I need. I'm not used to doing streaming quite in this way, so if I try to save this now, is it going to let me? It's still saying it's an invalid JSON, so I think that means we don't have the full thing written out yet. So we'll keep going to try to get the full thing set up. And by the way, Octorog, if you're still here, if I didn't say thank you for the follow, I thank you for the follow. I get super scatterbrained and distracted, so too many things, man. Too many things. Okay. So we're just gonna get all this filled out. Hopefully make sure that it's the same. Like, does this let me apply changes here? No. We may have to do some fiddlies, and I can always copy this over and have it later if I need to modify things after. NPC roles dot, and it says template and then name. So I think here I need to put grassland underscore mantis, and then I do dot name. I'm pretty sure, yeah, pretty sure that's what we need that to be. Like, that's the naming convention for that, of what the critter is that we are making. Okay, so let me go here. Description. I'm not doing spaces like I'm supposed to, at least based on the format that it's showing. Translation key for NPC name. You know what the funniest part about being a diabetic is? What's the funny thing? Display. There are funny things about it? Okay. Okay, so if I do this, can I count this as done? No, it's not gonna let me. If I do this, does it let me? No, that also doesn't work. Ah. Okay. Now we need River. Welcome to the stream. How you doing, man? Okay.
Welcome, Brevet.
Oh, what's
Wiggle
going on?
skills happily you. A fish? Let's see who's the lucky winner. Grins excitedly.
Okay, so that has no space. That should have one space. That should have 1, 2, 3, maybe. Do 3 for these. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 5, 5. So it's gonna have one space there, or 2. I want one space. 1, 2, 3. Yep. 4, 5. Yep, that's good. I just need to pull these back 1 to try to get them where I want them to be. There we go. Oh, snap. Don't worry, Exod. We all appreciate you. It's actually really tiny on my screen. I should probably make it bigger so I could read it better. Honestly. Let's do that. NPC role asset? Oh. Anyways. And doesn't make it into a best viewer competition? What do you mean? Haven't you already established you are the best viewer of all time? Okay, so now we're gonna have the curly brackets here. We're gonna have compute. We'll find out if I ever actually know what any of this means and what it does. Appearance, space, and then the comma. 2, 3. We have drop list. So we have like, it's gonna be nice having like both the actual, like a reference for the guide and also, oh hey, knockout. Make sure to drop in some points into there. Is that a complete? Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Okay, drop list. It's gonna be the same thing, more or less. You did your max? Nice. That'll make Xhot happy, right? Compute. And then we want drop list. That's not the right thing. Gotta make sure, if I do one thing wrong, it breaks the entire thing. One thing wrong, breaks it all. Drop list. I tried to make him happy every once in a while. When you're feeling generous. I just realized I resized that and messed everything up. Let me fix that. Ah! What's with that hand? I didn't know that was a sticker. I don't remember turning this on. Okay, gotta fix this. I didn't realize my resizing messed it all up. There we go. That should be correct now. What even was that? Okay. Distractions, max distractions. I don't care anymore about what Knockout does. She's no longer a part. Wow. You've been demoted, Knockout. How do you feel? Cute. And then max health. Then we do that as well, and then we're gonna have motion controller list. Okay. And then that's just a regular bracket? Okay. And then we have this here, which that is what we need in there. What you talking about? No ideas whatsoever. None whatsoever. Okay, now type. So this is going to be all of the... Oh, okay. It's like the motion stuff. So we have walk. 5. Is that correct? I think that was off by 1. We'd have max walk speed. Now, I'm not 100% sure if what I'm building right now is like default stuff that exists within the entities, or if this is what's specifically needed, or like I have to create some of this stuff later. I'll have to kind of figure that out. I assume most of this stuff that I'm inputting numbers in right now is probably default stuff within the game. Not things I need to specifically make. And that's not, it needs to be max, not Mac. Mac walk speed. Why is your Mac walking? You should probably get that fixed. I got a tank spawner with 2 cinematic piglins. Ooh. That sounds a bit scary. Diving into your dungeon. Yeah, nice. I have gotten distracted and I was intending to check that out at one point, but brain and stuff not doing the thing. So that's the max fall speed. Okay. We have acceleration. Okay. That 10, and then yep, closing bracket, and this this regular bracket, right? Okay, so we're getting close to like this part. I got a 95 and a 35. I'm confused. I don't understand the context here. Okay, so we need this. And then there's the instruction part, which I wish I could like tell it to do specific spacings for things. Okay, well, we're gonna go just right into here. We're gonna go for instructions. Then we need this bracket again. And then curly bracket. Okay, Rivert said some fancy words about something he got, so I made a joke about speeding. Oh, and a familiar. Okay. Without till Thursday afternoon. Okay. Sensor. That was for like his birthday stream, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay, nice. Type. Any. I'll have to figure out what all this means, because currently I have no idea. I get some vague inklings of what these things could be, but body motion. I wonder if like this stuff's all required to be like, what's the word? Declared, I think it is. Take spawner is 10% of the spawners. Okay, spawns 2 mobs and each spawn has a 5% chance to be an enigmatic. That's such a hard word for me to say, enigmatic piglin. So on all piglin spawners, it's a 1 in 40,000. So you got a double 1 in 40,000. That's kind of crazy. Type. And then we have nothing here for now, I guess. Okay, we're going to curly bracket. And then we need another curly bracket. And then we need the regular bracket. And a comma. Because I got only one spawner that was all piglins. Okay. No, just 1 in 40? Oh, 1 in 40,000 of this happening of getting the 2 mobs. Okay. Think I'm following now. Potentially. Possibly. Name translation key. And then we do the... I'm assuming compute is kind of like telling it to run this thing. Is what I would assume. Name translation key. And then we have that. And then we have the close bracket. Okay, so can I... It's still saying it's an invalid JSON though. So something is wrong within the code that I have written here. Okay, so let's make sure all of our spacings are parameters. Did I spell that correctly? P-R-A-R. No, I missed a letter. It's an E. So it's saying invalid JSON. So why is it an invalid JSON? I guess what I could do is grab this potentially. If I copy this, I might be able to go for a JSON validator. Yes. So I can pop in my code and it will tell me potentially what could be wrong with a lot of this. Duplicate object key. Okay, that was expected after the property on line 16. Ah. So this is missing. Oops. Oh, did I just like delete that and didn't? I needed this thing. Okay. So if I fix that. Okay. Expected. So on line 1. Wait, what? Expected token. JSON contains a trailing comma which are not allowed in standard JSON. Use try fix. Okay. What am I missing here? I don't know what I'm doing, but it's fine. Okay, so something somewhere I have missed. Okay, so expected token wants me to have a comma somewhere. Is it this part here at the beginning that I perhaps did something wrong? Okay, let's kind of take a look. So we have that initially. And we have type. It does have that like we need it, and we're calling it. And it has the comma to go down. We have parameters. Curly bracket. And the value. There's a comma there. Nothing there but a comma there. Okay. It's so tiny on my screen, I can't tell what it is. Okay, that's got a comma, that's got a comma, that's got a comma. So after the name translation key, I'm missing a bracket here, I think. Let's copy that, go back to our validator. See what that does. Still complaining about something not being done correctly, and I don't know what it is. Perhaps it's the comma before there? So unexpected token of the curly bracket. T is not a valid JSON line. So there's something initially for that part that's going weird. I don't know. Struggling through this here. I will get it figured out eventually, though. It will just take some fiddling. Okay, so that one goes to that one. Is it because of... Okay, so this... Oh, it's for that one. Okay, so if I get rid of this one... Oh, I'm probably just missing an additional one somewhere. Okay, so it's trying to tell me... The validator is saying there's something wrong... Wait, where... Am I missing like half this code? Oh, right there. After motion control... Oh, right here. So something is off here, so probably I need to do like another comma. Let's try that. Ah, wrong thing. Pressing all the wrong buttons. Okay. So that's also not validating it correctly. Okay. So let's double check this. So we have this here. We have the curly bracket there. Comma for that. No comma for that. closing the curly bracket, additional curly bracket there. Then we have all these ones, all the curly brackets closing, and then this is opening, and then, oh, it's because this is the wrong direction. So that should be a closing bracket. Perhaps that is what is breaking our JSON here. Okay, so that did fix that one. Now I have an issue on line 26. Ah. Because I did not do after type. Okay, well, we're not, okay, what? And with the bumper. Oh, is Kim Possible in there now? Okay, so if I've done that correctly now, I should be able to paste this in here and check it again. Line 31, I've missed something. Expected double quote property name in JSON at position 31. So 31 is supposed to have something potentially, which is like right after acceleration. Did I do something funny there? I'm not sure. So there's walk, then there's a comma, that 3 comma 10 comma 8. Ah. Excuse me. It's a really good show. Call me, beat me if you want me to reach you. Want to reach me? Wow. I can't even sing it because my brain did not actually compute that as the song. Okay, line 39 is also apparently missing a thing. Where? Expected that after property name in JSON, position 39. So for this one, that shouldn't be anything. Oh, Shigo? Yeah. Okay, so that curly bracket. So it's complaining about this section here. If I hit apply changes, it's still invalid here. So it's saying expected, is that a colon? After the property name in the JSON at position, so line 39, column 15, so it's line 39. If I hit try fix, what would that do? Try fix is not doing anything for me. What's wrong with liking the evil people? It's been so long since I've watched Kim Possible. Okay, let's go ahead and put a space in that because I want a space there. So it's trying to say that this type is not working for some reason. Oh, it's probably because it needs to be this. Does this actually work now? Aha! Success! There was just purely a thing missing. Okay. So now if I validate it, it says it's good. Super helpful to have that. You went to a club Saturday and oh my goodness, to my knees and... Oh, the club, yeah. Hurt from dancing. For 5 hours? Oof. That sounds rough. Okay, so what is this variant thing that this is? It's showing a separate bit of code, which I assume is a different file, but I'm not 100% sure. It looks like it is. So is this supposed to be... Oh, it's supposed to be the template. Oh, okay. I think I need to do something here. I kind of want to just call this Mantis. And not the Grassland Mantis, because the Grassland would be the variant. So let's go ahead and edit those. Make sure that it is just generally as Mantis, which I think, can I apply changes and call that good? Yes. So we're going to grab this whole thing, we're going to copy it, we're actually going to make a new one. We're just going to call it Mantis. Because we want to have variants to the Mantis later, so we'll actually paste that in here. So this should be like the base model. And we can apply changes to this one. We can get rid of this one. Okay. So now when it's talking about variants, though, where does that go? In the following variant, next to the template, there's a transition key in the template used for localization of NPC names, but we won't worry about that for now since it's not required for the NPC to work. Our artists have not yet finished animations for the Goblin Ogre. For the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to use Appearance Goblin because it offers more of a complete set of animations that we need. Okay, so we can do variants later, and we can reference the template. Okay, so I'm pretty sure what I can do now. What? There are many reasons why I don't do Okay, so if I go here now and I want to create an additional one, I don't know if I want it in here or not, but I'm going to put it here anyways. So we're going to go Grassland Mantis. Okay, so create that one here, and then we're going to replicate the code that it's gotten here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we'll go for type. And then we go variant, because we're going to want multiple variants later. Here it comes. Wait, never seen it. High School Musical. 1, 2, 3. Oh, High School Musical. Oh no. Reference. And then this would be, we're referencing the template, so we're just going to reference, I think, Mantis. It shaped my childhood. Nice. Okay. We're going to go modify. And then we're going to have a curly bracket here. I'm going to put a curly bracket there. Space it 1. Space that 1. We're going to go here. Appearance. And then it just has Goblin in there, so I'm not 100% sure if that's what we want to do, but I'm just going to do that for now and assume that's what we want, but not 100% sure. But all right, this was going to be the variant, right? Because the initial thing is the template for the Goblin Ogre. And then if we make a variant of it, it would be this. So I think I'm going to just put Grassland for now. I don't know if this is the right place for that or not. We'll figure it out as we go. Okay. This should have a space to kind of just distinguish that a bit better. Max health. And we're going to put 50 here as well, just to kind of keep it similar. Okay. So now I'm going to do a space for that. Let's do a space for that, and we should be able to apply changes there. So that's kind of give us our basic templates. Okay. Now, what do we want to do next? Set up the idle state in instructions. So I need instruction. But where does that go, though? There's no particular rule for the order in which we should tackle states either, but I'd like to start with the idle one. First, we need to add the state to the template. We do this in 2 steps. Okay. Where does it go, though? That's the one thing about this documentation right now. It's not actually telling me where these things go. So is there a space for these? I don't really know. Lego Yoda showed me what love could be. Okay. Interesting. I don't really know where I'm supposed to be putting all this information now. Because there's instructions, so I guess I need to figure out where does the rat get its information? Because we have creature, we have critters. We're trying to use, I guess I could look at the squirrel. So what is this? This is the basic squirrel. And just like all the different things about it. So it's got 15 health. It's considered a critter in the category for memories. It's parameters, translation key. So server NPC role squirrel name. So it's going to pick up the role from the squirrel. So if we look at that, which is here. Wait, this is... Okay. If I go to my NPCs here and look for... Let's go to creatures again. And probably mammal. No, would it be not livestock either, right? The squirrel wouldn't be considered that. Oh, we got different like prey, predator. Okay, might have to do something with these at some point. Critter. Okay, so these includes roles. So critter, if I specify critter, it does that, or is it the other way around? This is getting rather complicated to understand where I'm trying to find things. Okay, how do I figure out their instructions? I appreciate you guys hanging out, even though I'm just kind of yapping to myself here. Listening to my rambling as I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. Do. Would it be under entity, perhaps? Gotta figure out where the things are that do the things. So what's this? Model assets. That's specifically the model. If I click on it, I'll show them. Hanging out here is always epic. I'll appreciate it. I'm glad to hear that. You guys enjoyed me rambling in the background while you have your conversation. Look at the orange frog. He's so cute. Okay, well, look at the squirrel. This is all the model stuff. Okay, interesting. So I might really have to replicate a lot of this stuff to try to get it to this maybe, or hopefully when we import the model, it'll just have all this as part of Blockbench. I'm hoping that's how that works. You're also doing algebra. Oh, okay. Hopefully algebra is going well. I would assume this gets imported when you bring in a model. Tadpole rhino? Whoa, look at that guy. Woo! This green frog, meerkat, meows, squirrel, a gecko. Okay, so that's models. Which is obvious, like, models. Okay, oh, decision making. Is this where it could be? Conditions? I don't know what all this stuff is. Living world, perhaps? Aggressive neutral path. Okay, so I might be able to utilize this stuff and make it a specific type, maybe. Intelligence. Very interesting. Okay. So predators. Okay. Interesting. Okay. 4 assignments due before 8 a.m. tomorrow. Oh, wow. I'm working on the last one. Oh, okay, cool. Glad you're getting close to being done with it. It's very good. Flock assets. Don't know if I'll be using that or not. I'm really not sure. There's a reputation, which is interesting. That's like something behind the scenes and not currently part of the game yet. It's like in the game, but not implemented. Where does this go? I wish it would describe to me where this is supposed to go. Or is it just... Does this go in instructions? That's what I'm not really clear on. Algebra was easier math for me. I never liked math in any state of form. I'm good with simple math. Just multiplication, subtraction, division, like that. Addition. Just let me stay there. I don't want to get into the complicated stuff. versus like calculus. More like x minus h to the root. Is that root? Yeah, root of 2. Plus y minus k root of 2 equals r. Or the root of 2. Or the power of 2? No, it's powered, isn't it? It's been so long, I don't remember what all the things mean. Okay. Question. Square root. Oh, okay, square root. Okay. That's what that is. No, you square root it to do the opposite of that. Anyways, blah. Okay, game. Where do these things go? I don't understand. Or is it breaking down all the different pieces? Okay, let me look at my guy here. Hold on, I gotta close all these things that I opened up. So if we go back to our mantis. Okay, so it's just, oh, okay, right. It's currently just describing the instructions. Wait, what? Just, wait, yep, no LOL to solve it, yes. Wait, what? Math is, yeah, that math's way beyond me at this point. Okay, so let's see. Set up the idle state in the instructions. So I have that. So it does nothing when it's idle. Or do I need to add this? Okay, let's look at the sheep real quick. So the sheep is a variant. The template is animal neutral. Its appearance is sheep. Okay, and then its block array is that. Okay, what item it loves. I don't worry about that too much. Might come back to that later. Okay, so there's currently nothing. Oh, interesting. There's not any of that information in here. So how does the sheep do? Is it the role? It might be the role. So if I go back here and I go to NPC, looking for the NPC roles. So if I go to here, I go to creature, and I look for the sheep. I'm like figuring out how this is all assembled. You'd rather have hard math? It's quick and easy, but simple? That doesn't make any sense to me. Hard math is not quick and easy. At least not for me. Okay. So, okay, so this is still the same. That's the sheep roll. So, how do I figure out the, I guess, basically the syntax of what they do to determine what's going on here? Because if I look at this, it pulls rolls as what it's supposed to do. So based on this, I should probably make it. So I should probably make an actual NPC role, and then that's what defines it all. So maybe what I'm following isn't probably the correct way to go about this. But the thing is, it's not. I don't see where this reference guide, where that exists within the current creatures in the game. That's where my current conundrum is. Perhaps it's within intelligence. If I go to neutral. No, hold on. So living world, neutral. What does neutral have? It just goes to those things. So it goes to prey, which is included in a group. So is it in the intelligence or aggressive? Okay, let's try to figure out where this is then. Other. Okay. There's reputation, spawn. And there's the roles, which I guess if I look at the roles, can I find the specific neutral prey options? Okay, here's prey. So the undead are going to attack these specific things. Okay, so I'm definitely going to need to use prey and put in all the mobs I want. So I kind of already assumed that and understood that part. The struggle I'm at now is where's the logic of how the creatures function? Worldless proves the objects. My brain doesn't know what it's looking for. Okay. So none of this seems to be in there, but Living World has these things, but it's what specifically is considered those? Okay, so if that's not what I'm looking for, and the intelligence of, let's say, the goblin, for example, is using the roll. Okay. So I would assume that that means the NPC rolls is where you would have the logic. So maybe okay, is this where I'm? Ooh. Okay, so there's a blank template. So this is the basic part. Okay, so what I've made is actually a roll or a template for the roll. I think that's what I've currently put in. So if I were to... Okay, hold on. I'm closing all the things because I've got too many. I don't want it to open them up all the time. Just want to look real quick and be good. Okay. So if I look at this, then this right here is based off of this, which is the blank template. So how are they pulling the blank templates? Do I have templates here? Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. This is getting... I'm getting so into the weeds of this, trying to figure out how this works. Oh my gosh. So template B's passive critter. Is that going to be... Well, I want template animal neutral, right? Which would include... Okay, so I can kind of try to figure out what this does. So do I... Oh, okay, template... I see. So what I've made is a template then. Look at the components. Then I have action lists. Wow, okay, so this is like super like spread out. Oh, you have 400 points? Are you gonna complete the community thing? Oh, did you already get it? Did I just not see that it happened? Oh, there we go. Woo! I don't have like a little celebratory sound or anything, so but hey, I know. Hey, knockout. Play the Squirtle. I should make that the thing. Okay, so we're gonna go to that then. I'm going to drop that redeem by 10,000. Bop. There we go. Thank you, knockout. Was that 10,000? No. That would be 10,000, right? Yeah, right there. 1, 2, yes. Okay, I think I did it correctly. And then I can go to this thing, mark it as complete. Actually, can I just like to do it again, but I guess I have to redo it all. Okay. So what I call it again? Lower, choose game redeem. Lower, choose game redeem. I'm making a new one. This will lower the silly high cost redeem. Do another 2, 3, 10K. Boop. And create. There we go. We got a new one. Once again. There we go.
Wiggles fins happily, yay. I love being hydrated.
Hydrate.
Splashes around playfully, snacks and water. My favorite things. Thanks for the drink, viewer.
Viewer, why didn't you just say knockout? What are you doing there, Grubby? You know who it was. Okay. I'm trying to break this all down. You've been downgraded. You've been downgraded to just viewer. Okay. So, I think I figured out it's in the roles. So action list is like what it does. Oh, this is just for sleeping and just for waking up. Okay, and this is how the flocking logic works. Okay, I can like fully describe to you how you make all this stuff, but I might be able to use some of this stuff. Pathing. Interesting. Okay. So this is kind of how the mobs. I'm starting to understand a little bit of the base logic of how all the mobs work in this game. So like this one, for example, I believe you basically set up a waypoint so that a distance of 5, and it will go, and then it will rotate 90, and then go to the next thing, and then rotate 90, and at a distance of like 5, whatever 5 is determined. It kind of just like repeats that, I would assume. Selectors. So there's a combat selector. Here's some instructions. Okay. Class instructions interface with the so generic alerted. Oh goodness. Wow. Like just doing this, like digging into these files and trying to understand how the developers like make all of these things just really gives great context to like what it takes to code and create a game, you know? Because they have to go through this. If they want to make a new mob, they go through all these things, but then they make all these like for example all these bits here, so it should be easier to replicate a new creature. I just need to understand exactly what I need to pull from and what I should have pulled into my main thing as well, I think. So I might end up just literally taking all of this core thing, and then I should have things I can pull from. So, but do I want all of that? That's the question. And to what extent do I want it all? Because I don't necessarily need everything in it. Because right now, let's go ahead and just close all these. It keeps opening so many things. So right now we don't have anything in our role other than just sheep. We copy pasted the sheep one into the role. Which kind of does give us a example thing we can fiddle around with and decide what we want it to do based on these. But I don't think sheep is the ideal one to have in here. I think if we want to do an NPC role to have reference to, we're going to want to do something that's going to be as similar as possible specifically to that. So, for example, I guess what I could look for, so is it intelligence? I should do aggressive maybe, or was it neutral? No, where did I find that before? Is it creature? I guess I could look for something that I would assume is going to have a similar, like, mentality, but okay. Well, this is what we were looking at. And this is where I have all the information. And the snow leopard is a variant. Can I find... So regular grizzly bear is also a variant. But I'm guessing they're variants of specifically bear. I would assume. Okay, let's look at the core again. The core has components, right? Where did I find like the predator stuff? I think I want one that I can see that with. Creature. Look at critters. Like, I know none of these guys are going to be hostile. They're all purely do nothing. The vermin, however, are hostile, so I could look at the rat, perhaps. The rat is under... Okay, it's attitude group. I think that's what I need to be looking at. Oh, here it is. You know what's funny? What's funny? What is the funny things? So what I can do, actually, is I have these things here, so I'm definitely going to need these, the attitude groups. Because I'm going to need to reference them, I'm pretty sure. But... So for context, anything above 170 blood sugar isn't good, right? Okay. So if I do aggressive, I would assume these are anything that would attack the player. I wouldn't want it to attack the player. It's gone past 400, so my app won't read it anymore. Oh goodness, that's not good. You should figure out how to handle that. Yes, like Knockout said, take care of yourself. What are you doing, man? Okay. So I'm trying to understand. Okay, so if I want to make a group, I guess I could use the empty one and copy that and make the attitude group that I need. And then I can tell it to, I could use like this, for example, I could do predators and have it be hostile towards a specific type. But if I say prey, prey would include prey, big critters, and vermins. But I don't think I'd want it to be after the big guys. So I probably would just want to have specifically... It's hilarious. Why is it hilarious? It can't be hilarious. Your body is screaming at you to take care of itself. Wait. I heard more people talking about the Turning Point halftime show than the Super Bowl at work today. Okay. Turning Point halftime? For... I don't watch sports or pay attention to sports, so I have no idea what's going on, to be honest. Okay, this is also good to see where things go. So server, NPC, attitudes, and then roles. Ugh. No touchdowns in the first half. Brain. Brain is trying to understand. Okay, I need to follow logic of a specific mob and note down all the things that it has and what it does. Okay. So we're going to... I guess in my notes I can write this stuff down as I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, okay, NPC. So we know the NPCs have an attitude that they follow. So basically how they interact with the world and things around them, other NPCs. So that's something I'm going to need. And within that, I need a attitude group. So that's going to be like basically attitude group would be what they are. Because then they're going to pull from specifically these different things, right? So if I do an attitude group and then make a file for it there. This file will be the list of what the mantis hunts. Okay. Just put my finger. The good news is my blood sugar isn't actually 400. Okay, so it's a little lower, but... So what do you do when it's high then? I forget. I know you probably told me before, but my brain is mushy and doesn't know how to remember things. I was working when the Super Bowl was going on, I think, or came home and then was just doing whatever, chilling. Okay. So I think that kind of covers that bit. Because I could simply make in the group. Okay, and then in this file, I'm going to need what's hostile. So like what it attacks. And then ignore what it doesn't attack. So I'll have like a certain list of things of what it goes after. Okay, so I think that's going to be all I need for that bit, at least, if I understand correctly. Yes, because if I look at critters, so what critters do, critters are friendly, specifically to a fen stalker, but they're hostile. Oh no, is this what's hostile towards them? Oh, okay. I think that might be the other way around then. I guess one way to look at it would be prey, for example. So predators, predators big, and void will attack whatever's considered prey. And then whatever's prey will ignore prey. That okay, so do I have that wrong? Hostile is no, what attacks it, right? Yeah. Attacks it. Did you ask me something, Steam? Alex is asking like how you lower it. I don't remember how. That would be a really weird way to code it. Which way? So basically what they have this set as, just insulin. Oh, okay. Is so this is what's hostile towards prey. Is going to be predators, predators big, and void. So what attacks it? And then the ignore list is what they ignore. Is what it doesn't attack. Yeah, okay. I guess I could mix that up a little bit, if I'm understanding that correctly, right? Because if it's a prey animal, for example, all predators, big predators, and void, which are all pretty hostile, will attack them. But no prey, but it says prey big there. Oh, because it's still prey. Critters and vermin will all ignore it. They're not going to go after it. Okay. I think I've got that part figured out. I could look for specific what it would be in the living world, which I don't know if I'm going to worry about that necessarily. Actually, I should probably look at that. So, groups, hostile. So aggressive will attack passive. So what is considered passive? Where's that information at? Is it just me understanding how all the things work? It's right here, right? Aggressive. So anything that's in aggressive would attack those, right? It's friendly, so they're friendly towards goblins. Nothing is hostile towards the goblin then? Logos printed? I'm so confused. What? Wait, no. Yeah, so this is what hostile right here is saying. They go after birds and deer. Okay. That is what it attacks. So that was correct. Or is that specifically within the intelligence? So the intelligence part is completely different then, if I'm understanding this correctly then. Because then they should all attack those. Huh. What do these guys go after? They go after Quebec's birds and deer. Same thing. Huh. Okay. Slowly but surely trying to figure some of this stuff out. Okay, so these guys should attack all of those things. Very interesting. If I look at the golem, it attacks these. It doesn't have player listed in here, which is interesting. Okay, oh, so these item attitude groups are for like things that they interact with. Okay. So I'm gonna need to know that as well. We have an item, attitude group. Aliens. Aliens. So I guess dislike and love can be considered. So that should cover the attitude section, if I'm understanding that correctly. Yes. But what else is in here? There's a balanced asset. Okay. This is all test stuff. So beast, the rat. Let's take a look at this. Combat action evaluator, target memory duration. Oh. Okay, so if I'm understanding that, so combat action evaluator. So this is kind of what it decides. It picks a target, but should have, I guess, more or less 10 ticks of having the target. If it's within the right range, I would assume. Okay. So they're basically like retargeting every time there, from what I understand on that one. And then when it goes to that select target, it then does the basic attack, so it triggers it based on that. Okay. Oh boy. Then I have it tell it to do what it, okay, so this is the actions of what it does after it acquires its target. And this is the attack that it does. That has a certain range and a cooldown for how often it attacks. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so plus we got decision making, combat options, which currently has nothing, conditions, own stat percentage, stat health, and curve. Okay, I don't know what that's doing. I might have to figure out a bunch of stuff with this. Was way more in depth than I was expecting, but also like not surprised that there's this much to it. Okay, so let's look at what does the frog do? So this is just its basic description, I guess. The super bare minimum of what the frog is. It's referencing template beast passive critter, so I do kind of want to look at that. Tempered beast, so this is the basic one here. Team, would you harvest a soul for its medical properties? Probably not. I just have abstract here, so do I need mine to be abstract? Oh, the raccoons! Raccoons are attacking! Being raided. I need that to play whenever someone raids. Right in my face, no. There's a summoned ally, though. So what is all this information? So let's just, we can look at the descriptions, which should help us understand some of the stuff. So this is view range, how far it can see. And then the sector which it views. It also has a hearing range. Okay. Interesting. A range within which the player can be seen / sensed when the NPC is alerted to their presence. Okay. Hearing range when distracted by dropped fish. Oh. You can distract critters with dropped fish? That's interesting. Okay, and then items to attract it. Attractive items. Item to look for in player's hand. There's no value currently. Well, that was the most. You don't like the stickers? So this would define what would attract it, which I'd be surprised if any of these things have that in there, because they're probably not within the general template, unless...
Pop it! Twist it! Pull it! Spin it!
Okay, what this one? Is there SD attitude group that it picks from? Okay, so the templates are... It's like that's what I created then. This initial mantis thing is a template. I've opened too many things. It's hard to get back to what I want to look at. Way too many things. Oh yeah, if I just go back to this then... Can I tell it not to open these all the time? There's so many open. So many. Because every time I open it, add the tab. I don't hate all the stickers, but that one sucked. Oh, the wee. Okay. I don't know if I want this. I guess I'll change this later, and I'll use it to do this stuff. So NPC. My brain is feeling very fried trying to figure this stuff out here. What was I even looking for now? I don't even remember what I was looking for. Its appearance would be... This is such a struggle. Struggle. Brain. Okay. Well, I do know... I've established I need at least the attitude thing set up for it. I still haven't figured out how to... Doesn't have a role specifically to each thing. Like for example, freshwater fish. Like, what do they do? So is role the template then? No, it's referencing the template. Okay, so the templates are the base behavior. So what is that? Swimming passive? And it uses bluegill as the value because that's like the basic thing. So I think what I want to do...
Lizard.
30 minutes on a single problem? Oh no. I think I'll just make this... We'll just make this mantis. I don't think we need to have the full thing. Oh gosh. Okay, if this is a template then, I'll have it pull the template. For example, this, the bluegill itself. What does it have? But it's pulling that template. Make it stop. Hey, at least she's not just spamming him like a crazy person. So what does this do? Because that's specifically the bluegill versus that. So if, for example, a drop list, does it have drop list that? Drop square bluegill. So how does that work? Empty description drop items. Oh, the algebra? Oh, okay, yeah. The algebra is never ending. What do you mean? Okay. So if I want to make the mantis, I guess this needs to be the template then. So it's like all the base values. So I should probably rename this as template and put it into where that is based on here, which is the NPC role, where this is currently not in the role section, it's in the actual mantis section. Oh boy. Okay. So we just have to keep fiddling until we get to the proper format for this. Okay. So within, so we have core. There's different components. I guess I could probably can I just pull these? I think I can just pull all of these. Because these are basic things that I could reference and use. So I think I do want the core. So if I grab core, for example, can I grab the whole thing? Find in folder? Nope, that's not what I'm after, I don't think. What do you do with... Yeah. Okay. Can I just like pull that? Except like that one? What can you do with a drunken sailor? What am I trying to do here? You cannot create new assets because the selected asset pack is read only. Okay, well, what if I want to pull these over? Create a new NPC role folder? Which I guess I do want to do. Is that what I wanted? I had to say create? What does that do? Okay, we're going to test this and see what it does. What does this create for me? Just that. No, that's not what I want. But if I go back to here now, what does it have? Oh, it's doing... Oh, okay, so now I can close this out. So if I go back into here now, and look at roles, it does have a test one. Okay. Alright, you gotta bounce? Alright. Have a good night, Knockout. Thanks for joining the stream. I'll catch you later. Reminds you of SpongeBob. Oh, nice.
That's all, folks.
Okay. So, if I want to get all these templates then, do I have to just say make a thing? Do an override? Goodness. I wish I could just pull the folder. Okay, so the NPC roles, core, and then components, and then action list. So if I were to just click override for this, what does that do? If I go back to this one, to my Mantis one, what did that add? I just dropped that in there. It's not particularly organized, but then it does have that as a reference point. Okay, let's try something else. What I'm going to try to do now, if I can go to this, for example, can I find the folder for this? So, show and explore. You cannot find the server NPC group Praying Mantis in the mods folder of your world save. Okay, I can't currently find it. Okay, well, what if I think I need to quit the menu and restart it. Because I think that's now going to load it up and actually create the visual folder I can check, maybe? I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. It's a struggle. Yes. What's up, Exod? Please? Please what? Do. Okay. Okay, it went derp. So if I close this and then I need to try okay, no, I won't do that, Exod. Never. Okay. Does it still have the preview like I wanted? It does indeed. Okay. Because I can keep this open now so I can verify that. Okay, if I go back to this now. Okay, can I see the folder for this now? It doesn't work? You cannot find the file because it's not in my mods? But if you did, I could take a sick day tomorrow. Oh, really? No. If you need to take a sick day, you should take a sick day. Okay. Oh. Wait, what? Oh. It put this stuff in there, but not really. Huh. I have a feeling this is going to get quite messy as I'm trying to figure out how this actually functions and works. So we're going to look at these, which, oh, they're not in the format that I thought they would be now. Ooh. I go to editor, source. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. So if I were to go back to here, and I go to the template, it won't let me do that because, yeah, actual 6 days don't help with this teacher because he still expects us to turn our assignments in at the start of class, even if via email. Oh, okay. That's the smart way to do it as a teacher, I think. Okay. So, I'm slowly but surely piecing things together, but it's still not 100% on what I'm doing. Okay, maybe I should look back at my reference guide and try to understand what it wants me to do here. Question is where are these things at? Simple and handling exists with existing components. Okay. Now the real challenge begins from here on out. It's critical to remember to test, and test some more. Okay, I think I need to go back to the beginning and kind of understand what I'm doing. So read through the design document, figure out how the behavior breaks down into distinct states, identify which part of the behavior already exists in predefined components, identify any parts of the behavior that are likely to be reused across other similar templates, identify any particular complex parts of the behavior that are likely to become generally reusable. Okay. Okay, so if I open this up, so I understand. Okay, so it's like all the different generic. Okay, so abstract is what I should be using for this because it's a generic NPC. Okay, so the action list is an array of actions to be executed. Add to the hostile target memory. So adds to the past target from sensor to the hostile target memory. Ah, boy. Okay, so this is gonna be a good thing to have referencing whenever I need to like understand what all this syntax is for. What it's referencing to. I'm still a little confused on what this does. Okay, so decide on the states. So the goblin, this is an example they're using as a goblin orc. So it's an idle state that can also encompass the general observed flavor actions. In many cases, we can include some inter-NPC behaviors here too, unless they require a more complex sequence of actions. Okay. So the idols is kind of what they do when they're not being in any sort of interaction, which makes sense. Okay, sleep states are often best kept separate from the idle state, both to take advantage of mechanisms for handling the transition from this state to others, playing wake-up animation, and to accommodate slight changes to behavior detection capabilities. Okay. So there's an eating state with the same reasoning as sleep. Okay, an alert state, a combat state, a return home state. Okay. So I might need to make their home point be the player. That's probably what I'm going to be doing. Some of these might break down into a set of additional substates, handling individual parts of the behavior logic. For example, default, find food, eat the rat. Okay. If the NPC is going to be structured at the highest level, with this in mind, we can also see potential for state transitions to make sense. So any state to sleep, sleep to any state. Okay, any state to eat, prepare item for eating. Okay, so we have like transitions between all of these different things, which would probably be additional animations. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sure, there are a few pre-existing components that will make our lives significantly easier. Okay, so we need to We need to chase and attack other targets. Okay, so I can utilize the intelligence chase. Interesting. Which that's going to be under attitudes, I believe. Wasn't it? Yes, intelligence. He said specifically chase, which I assume would be an aggressive. Oh, is it not? It's probably something different then. Okay, so there's actually a soft leash component, so I might be able to utilize that as well. Okay. Right, so I made a template. That's what this guy actually is. So I should probably rename that to template and move it to where the templates belong. So we're going to rename this. Actually, we're going to grab all this. Control A, Control C. We're going to, excuse me, I'm going to make a new one. So we want to name it. Pretty sure we want this to be template underscore mantis. So in here, this is going to be the generic how a mantis works, all the base information, and then this is our variant. That's why it's in a separate folder. Okay. So I think that part works. The appearance part is which I'm not 100% clear on. Okay, it does go next to, so I do have this in the correct place because it's next to the template. Okay. So I think I need to actually just like have the model now to use as the appearance thing, which I guess I could figure out how to do that. So if I go to model asset within here, I want to get an understanding of what we have. So is it NPC? No, it'd be here, model asset. So as an example, if we go to beast, we look at the grizzly bear, so that's all this information. Okay. So I want to, I guess I could use this and try to fiddle with it. Like I could maybe like take a fox and try to code the fox to do what I want it to. But at the same time, I also want to get into making a model. So I might consider that. Okay, so let's go ahead and shrink this down. I think what we're going to do for now, we're going to close this out, which is going to make things disappear, but we'll get to it. I'll open up Blockbench. Okay, and with Blockbench, I need to make an additional capture thing here. We'll call it Blockbench. We'll do the Hytale. And we can tell it to grab Blockbench. Need a window to capture. Well, window capture. Okay, fine. Can I just change it? Okay, so we're gonna go pop. We want or display capture. Window capture is what I wanted. Where's a window capture at? There it is. I couldn't find that before for some reason. Blockbench. Hytale. Okay. We're going to select Blockbench. That should pop up. We're going to now shrink it down. And get that kind of in here like we want it. Okay. Then I want to put that down here. I think I want to rename this as well and do this as full. And we're going to make a duplicate. So I copy it, paste the reference, go down here, and we're gonna rename this one to small. And that one can go down here. So I can kind of have the back and forth like I was doing before to kind of have some reference. We can remove that one because we're currently in Blockbench. Now I did have some other models I opened up to kind of get an idea of how this would work. So I think if we just jump into creating a new model, I will open this referencing on the side. We're going to call this grass. If I was emotionally weak, you would cry. So go for this. So we have this in there, but I'm not, so I'm just stressing. Yeah, I can hear that. I feel that. Okay, let's make sure I am previewing properly. Let's go back for a second. So we're going to save that. Select a format. I'm going to save it as that. I guess I could put it on the desktop for now until I find like a specific place I want that. Okay, so I wanted to go out real quick because I wanted... Oh, did I just murder Blockbench? I did. You come back, Blockbench. Okay. I wanted to look at this as well, a modeling tutorial. Okay, it is YouTube. Okay, let's go ahead and mute that so it doesn't pop up. Okay. So now we've got that going. I can then bring this permission to access and change files on your computer. Yeah, sure. Sure, yes, allow it for this plugin, that's fine. No textures were found for this model. Would you like to import none? No, I don't need to. I don't currently have any. So now we've got to figure out how I want to start getting this guy figured out. I think I can actually bring in some references, if I remember correctly. I just got to figure out how I did that before. Okay, let's see. Let's just kind of preview this, what this guy's got going on here. Looks like he's used like a base player model to kind of like figure out how to get sizing. So I guess I'd want to import that if there's an option. Okay, let's see. Let's see what he does real quick. Okay, he already had one there. Did he do that? Okay, where did he do that? Try to figure out how he got the model in there. Okay, so he just like put one in that he had. Okay, can I not just import one? Because I know that some of the tools have that, which is pretty nice, but how do I find that? I don't remember. I know I did it once before. Find add template loader? I think that's from something else. Yeah. I believe that's the Minecraft stuff I'm looking at. View. Is there a reference images was here? Okay. Let me see if I can find a quick Hytale model or base model. Base player model. Can I grab that somewhere, or could I just grab my player model? I gotta figure out how to get, because I want to get the player model in there so I can make sure that I'm keeping the scale proper. Where I find that, I have no idea. Excuse me. Where do I download now? Where to download? Do do do. Install the plugin. Go inside file plugins. Hytale, the official one. Yep. Okay. Extract from game file. So location. It's gonna be in the app data. Especially if I can find like specifically my player model, that'd be great to put my character in there. Okay. So we're gonna go to app data. Looking for Hytale. Okay, from Hytale we're looking for install, release, package, game, latest. Where we go from latest? Asset zip. Open that up. It's gonna have a ton of stuff it's gonna try to figure out here in a second. Okay, and then from there we're gonna look for models and then entities, which I don't see. Is that in the common? Okay. Working on it. Characters, perhaps? Player texture. Nope. Nope, not what I wanted. Oh, player block bench model. Okay, I think I need to... Can I... hold on. So I need to go into common and characters. So if I go to this, I need to grab this asset thing. We're going to copy this real quick. I'm going to go to my desktop and just drop it on there so I have it. Okay, then if we go to extract all, so we have access to it. Might take me a second to get this all set up. This is all just getting us prepped so we can actually do what I want to do. Don't forget to feed the fishies. The fishies are very hungry. I don't really want it to have to pull all this stuff, but this could work actually, because then I can do different, I can bring in different models for referencing if I have access to all of them. I just hope it's not going to take, you know, forever to extract all these. Apparently there's almost 2,000 items currently. That's kind of crazy. I don't think that's the... I hope it's not including all the mod stuff I have too, but... Taking forever. I didn't know exactly what I needed for this, so I would have prepped more before the stream. But it's kind of cool to have like the whole process on here. I know you guys can't visually see what I'm doing right now, but... I am currently opening a folder with several thousand assets and extracting them so I have access to them. Collect the monies, yeah! This Hytale thing is not a great preview. I'll have this be the preview. But I can do even this. Feed the fishies, they're all so hungry. Did you notice that I have that pink axolotl there is called Grubby? I'm not sure how easy it is to read the names. Okay, this is taking so long. I was not expecting it to take this long. Because there is a lot to it. But how big is that file? I didn't even it won't even let me read it right now. Properties. How big is this file? It's like 3 gigabytes when compressed. Okay, so unless that's the same, okay, cool. I think it is done. Okay, it's calculating how long it's going to take, about 7 minutes. Okay. We should start seeing assets popping up in here. Do I have character? I do. Okay, so now I'm going to pop up block bench here. Can I bring this in? Aha! It's fine. There we go. Now we have a reference model. Which, can I put this, like, down here? You noticed? Okay, so that's the player size. So we have that as a good reference for size. We'll just put that off to this side. I do want to look and see if I can find... Can I find the... I'd like to get like a model of one of the small critters. After all this time, I finally... You're halfway done? You're almost there. Little by little, you'll eventually get there. So now my question is... NPCs, that's what I need. We'll go for critter. We're going to grab the squirrel, because I feel like that's a good one. So we'll bring the squirrel in. Oh, I can't just put it in there, though? I was hoping I could put it alongside this for reference. Oh, I don't even have this in there, either. Okay. Let's try something here. If I go Control-Z, we're going to copy this. And then come into here. And then paste it in. There we go. So we have them over here as a reference. In times like this, I would say edgy, depressing, triggery, and not family-friendly stuff. Okay, yeah, in response. Which wouldn't have cuss words. Oh. Don't need that. Don't need it. I just need the default references. I'm gonna copy this. And then paste it in here. Nope, hold on. That's being silly. Okay, we should do... Gonna add a new group, I guess. And then there, I should be able to paste that in there, and then I can put this over here. Oh, it's exploding. I'm going to a pizza party tomorrow. Oh, that sounds exciting. I do appreciate you not doing such crazy things. Okay, there we go. So now we have our two like reference for like skill. I've never been to a pizza party for adults before. Oh, really? Okay. Sounds like it might be pretty fun. Okay, so now we have an idea of what the player and the squirrel are like in game, at least as far as that goes. I don't know why it's not like, doesn't have the texture. Oh boy, so we'll end up keeping this in here for a while, just so we can kind of have an idea. Oh, it's probably because I have the texture here. Can I get the texture over there? Let's try something. If I copy this and then paste it here. Oh, it does work. Okay. Nope. It does it on the player model too, but probably similar, I would imagine, to when you're a teen, just maybe with more alcohol. Potentially. Okay, so I only want the texture to apply... Hold on, how do I do this? Let's see, apply, okay. Create texture group, create texture. I don't want it to apply to the player model though. How do I not have it do that? Right here? Can I tell it to remove the texture? Okay, well, I guess it's not... I just won't worry about the texture, I guess. We'll figure that out later. We need them mainly for scale. But then what we're going to be looking at now is trying to make sure we replicate the style of Hytale, which is part of why I wanted to have the texture in there, but I guess it's not going to allow me to do so very easily, unless I can tell it to apply specifically textures to this. I don't know how to use this program. Okay. What is this collection? Oh wait, import, create a collection? Okay, can I put this in the collection? Okay, can I put this in the collection? What if I delete this now? And delete this. Now they're gone. Import an attachment. Okay, so if I were to do this and try to follow what I was doing before, if I go desktop, assets, I'm learning things. Learning things as we go. Okay, so that's there. Is this different? I don't understand what's the difference between the collection and the not collection. I delete this. And then I reloaded it, moved it. Okay. I don't get it. I guess what if I try import another one now? Do it separately. Will that keep its texture correctly? I would like to get actually my character in there. Okay, so then, oh, it does work. Cool. Okay. So let's see if we can find, let's see. Find my avatar model. Because that'd be really cool to have my actual model alongside. Hytale user data, cached player skins. Okay, so if I go back to this one, I need to find its file location. Okay, so is it me client? Data? Game? I don't actually know where I'm going. Okay, so it's going to be Hytale user data. So hold on. Okay, nope, that didn't go how I wanted it to. App data, roaming. It's looking for Hytale. We got user data. Cached, what was it? Oh, cached player skins? So kinda, oh, I don't know if I can open that up. What if I just pull this in there? Just, reference image. That doesn't quite work, does it? Can I delete it now? Delete. Yes, okay. Is there a way to actually like show it though? I would like to be able to have it in there. Cached assets, nope. What you find, the folder contains text-based files. Okay, so locate the image of model parts. It's going to be in Hytale install a latest common cosmetics. Oh. Install, release, package, game, latest. Oh, so it's in the cosmetics. Hold on. Inside you will find a folder for different categories. Okay, so, oh, and then you have to reassemble. Okay. Alright, well, that's fine. I'm not going to fiddle with that too much. I'm not going to worry about that. We've got what we need to start get going on this. We can just close this because we don't need it. This we're just going to go ahead and save for now. So now we have our references that we can utilize as we're trying to construct said thing here. Now I can take a look at this and see what is that how they did at different groups. I'm not quite sure how that worked, but that's fine. Okay, so if we look at it, we need a Mantis reference. So if I go Praying Mantis. Let me say this game. Let's kind of see what that does as far as arcade, maybe from video games. Hopefully we can kind of get a more of a cartoony looking mantis I can use as a reference to try to model after, which is not really helping. Okay, I guess that's would be better if I did like model 3D model, and then we're going to say cartoon. See if that helps kind of get us a bit more what we're needing for reference. I don't think they deliver it out this far in the country. You went to get pizza, but the whole parking lot was full, so I never get in left. Oh, really? Oh. Sometimes they'll deliver like part of the way, depending on the thing. But do we have a decent model I can kind of just convert? I don't think there's a good one from like a quick browsing, but at least it kind of gives me the general gist of what I need. Okay, so let's try. You just should be a human, right? Okay, so we're gonna go. I guess we're gonna add a new group. We're gonna name this. It's gonna be the grassland underscore mantis. Okay, and in here we're going to then add a cube so we can get started. Okay, now let's just take a look at this. We do have quite a large cube specifically for the head. Oh, is it putting the texture on this one? I don't like it's putting the texture on there. Are we not gonna be able to have this separate? Okay, I gotta figure out how to do that. Or is it because I put it... No, it should be separate. Why you do this? I don't want that. Or unless it's just an orange cube and I'm being silly right now. Okay, so as far as size then, I guess I could look at what this... The size is 12, 11, 13. So we can try that to just see what that looks like. So if we go to here, we're gonna go 12, 11, and then 13. So it is pulling the texture? I think it is. So that kind of gives us the head being a similar size. Which I don't know if I want the mantis to have that regular head, but we also need to make another group within this group. So we're gonna add a group, and we're gonna rename this one to head, and then we'll put this one in here. That's gonna rename them all to secondaries because I'm fiddling with that, but that's fine. Okay, and this is supposed to be within that one. Okay, there we go. So like a similar idea going on, which is good. Wait, is the head actually within like the neck? That's interesting how they did that. And then connect to the chest and the belly. I think I'm gonna keep mine kind of separate. Why is it not letting me move it? You. Okay. So if we were to put like where we want this head to be, and if we're gonna have it be, we do need to keep in kind of the cubing, like cube look, I think. I could also look, because like something that I read about how Hytale works, they do a lot of cubes, and then they have a lot of like his teeth here on the squirrel, which are like flat. So you're either cubes or super flat, basically planes or panes. So if we want a mantis head, I think he would be more than just one cube. So if we were to then duplicate this and move it forward like that, and we probably want to scale it down a little bit. And potentially make this much shorter. So Something like that, perhaps? And it's just gonna be, it's gonna have the squirrel texture splatter all over it until I actually refine that more. And now do I want this to be, because I feel like I need to do maybe one more. So we're going to duplicate it again, pull it forward, and we're going to shrink this down just a couple, hold on, a couple more bits. Down two. So go up one, over one. That kind of gives us a bit of more of a, I guess that almost raindrop shape that a mantis tends to have. But then it'd also have a different angle. So I probably need to take this, which I guess if I moved its reference point, we're going to rotate this. We're going to want this to be angled down a bit more. Because the mantis tends to have like a kind of straight down. Okay, then we're going to move this back up then, I guess. Try to get it in a position we want it. And I definitely want this to be taller. It's got to be taller and a bit bigger than the squirrel, I think, to kind of give us a good reference of size. Like, its scale needs to be what makes sense for it to be able to hunt down a, you know, a creature that big. Which I guess mantises could probably take on something that's roughly their size. But if I think about the size too, if I want it to be on the player, I gotta consider that size. So this might be too big for that, but we'll figure that out as we go. Okay, if I want to add, I can add a quad. Yeah, okay. So then the idea with this is we can use these quads to make like the more fine details. So if I want to, for example, I think I want to shrink this down to like potentially quite a bit smaller, because this is going to be like his pincers, the little, whatever they're called, the mandibles, I think that's the word. I'm going to rotate it, I want to rotate it out, I want to rotate it this way. Then we can kind of reposition it where we want. And I think it needs to be something like that, perhaps. And we can duplicate this one. And then pull it out and down. And we're going to make it smaller again. Something like that. And we can bring it over till it kind of connects. So that's kind of giving us his pincers. So if we take these two bits, which we should name things as we go here. So I'm going to go rename this. Don't forget his raptorial forearms. Yeah. I'm just trying to get the head figured out first to kind of get myself some positioning inside. See, I know fancy science terms too. Yeah. So this would be, what is this going to be? I guess the head, and then we're going to say, I guess back, and then this would be rename to head middle or mid, and then we can rename this one mid and then front, and then we can rename this mandible, I believe. I don't remember how to spell mandible. I did it before because we were making the mantis ant before, so I gotta figure out how to spell mandible. My brain needs to re-educate myself on spelling. Mandible. I think there's an I in it, right? Yeah, Mandy. Oh, it's an I instead of the A. There we go. So it's gonna be mandible. And then it's right. And okay, I could do the underscore things because it just makes it clear for reading. Right, and then I'll say back. Rename these. I'm glad I've actually got a little bit into doing the modeling here because I actually include that as part of my tags. So it's actually accurate that I'm doing a little bit of it. Okay. And then this would be same thing again, mandible, full, right, and then right. Okay. Then we can take both of these. I'm going to copy them and then paste them in. And then we can just slide them over so it attaches right there. And we kind of have already got a bit of the head going on here. And then we can rename these, which they didn't change, which is interesting. Okay, so this is going to be left. And then this one's going to be right, left as well. And then all of these would go into there. Oh, they're not where I need them now. Do I want them like down a bit more? Rotate them slightly, probably. Oh, they would be actually lined up with it, right? It does seem to be that's the case for most of the mantis. Okay, we have to fiddle with this on them to get it where I want it. Okay, and then I want front and the front. I'll pull you up slightly. Do something like that. It's kind of giving us what we need, though I do need to grab these two and probably bring them out just a hair. Because we're getting some Z fighting. So if I want to move it this way, I go 0.99, and that should... Nope, gotta do a bit more. Oops, nope, go back. Can I do 90? That help? Still getting a little bit of Z fighting. Let's go for 8. It's not quite doing what I want, is it? It's closer, but it's not quite there. Oop. Let's try 7. I don't know if that's doing what I need it to do. Okay, so maybe we go to 3.9. That's only going up and down, though. It's not going the direction I need it to. I guess that could work. Okay. Three, and then go to... Oh, it's like going... It's weird, it's like going up. I'm trying to get it to do this. Okay, well if I go back to these two, I guess I could have it at 3. Okay, that works, and then you don't see the Z fighting. Does that look correct for the mandibles, though? That's what I'm not quite sure on. Because I'll just look at a regular mantis instead of the model. Okay, his mandibles are actually really, really tiny. So maybe I don't need them like this. I could probably potentially just get rid of the 2 back ones. So if I hide both the back ones and just grab this and just bring them in. It's kind of what it looks like on them, but oh, they're also angled in. So no, let's actually do that. We're gonna grab this and I want to rotate it. I think I want to bring it in slightly. Honestly, it kind of looks like a squid or something. Yeah, because it's not got the rest of the body yet. I think it'll get there. Okay. Rotation, not trying to be rude, just trying to help. Yeah, no worries. It is in the early stages, so it'll be very hard to like see what it's supposed to be when it's early on. Okay, and I gotta figure out how to do the right angles on this. Okay, so if I go for like something like that, like I want to have negative 85. So if I have negative 85 for that, what would I have for this one then? I guess 95? And I do the same thing for this one, I believe. And we just have to reposition where they end up. It's actually really hard to like tell what I'm doing here. I guess I could zoom in more to get a better idea of positioning. So like if I were to move this, then actually might just get rid of these front ones and just stick with the slightly bigger ones I got. That might do it. The angles feel weird though, since they are different. So hard to click on it. -5 and -5. Right, like if I were to make it the same, because it's the opposite angle, that's why. So the default angle would be 90. So if I'm doing 85, that's only -5, so it would just be 95. Yeah, that should be correct then. Okay. Now if I want to like, so the eyes are texture, they're not a model. And then they have, I guess, their antennae, which come off of there. So maybe if I add the antennae, it might work. Their eyes do tend to stick out quite a bit, though. And he is feeling quite large compared to the player, so I might have to consider resizing him some. What do I do? Well, I think that's going to have to be it for today's stream, though. Just as far as we can get for it. We'll be picking this up in like 3 weeks. I'm doing rotation with Hytale. So the initial one's going to be exploration. So that means next Monday we'll be hopping into the exploration world and playing that. And then after that, the week after we go and do the Sea of Stars project, and then we'll come back to this one after that. It was a fun stream. I'm glad you liked it. Let me go ahead and just save this, make sure it's good. All right, so I'm gonna look for somebody to raid, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and do the thanks for watching, which I need to make sure that's in the right place. Where did it go? Where's my thing that's supposed to be up there? Did I hide it somewhere? Oh, I did hide it somewhere, like a silly person. Okay. So look for someone to raid. But by the way, we'll be doing the Minecraft Hardcore World on Wednesday. So make sure to look out for that. Still not done with your homework? You'll get it done, no worries. If you head over to the Discord, you can find the streaming events there for the next ones. And let's look for somebody to raid. Find out who is on right now. I do want to look for a family friendly tag, so I like to stick in that category. Is there anyone doing Hytale? Does not seem like there. Oh, there's somebody. Let's see. They don't say specifically they're family friendly, but they are under the tag when I did the filter. So I'm not 100% sure. PC gaming noobs. What? We're just gonna go see what Jessica's up to. I know he's family friendly and he's pretty chill too. Looks like he's doing some Roblox. So let's go see what he's up to. Thanks for watching, everybody.